Okay, Daniel, today we are going to look at checking subtraction by adding up. Okay, so checking subtraction by adding up. So let's take a look at some things here. If we have 15 minus 9, right? Well, I know that 15 minus 10 is 5, but so taking away 10 is taking away 1 too many, so I'll give 1 back. I'll compensate and make it 6. So 15 minus 9 is 6. Well, how can I check to make sure? Well, in this case, I subtracted to the right. If I add to the left, and I think 6 plus 9 equals what? Well, it equals 15. So it checks. Okay? Now, I told you that we were going to check subtraction by adding up. Well, we didn't add up here. We added left. But let's think about if we had a subtraction problem that looked like this. 4,853 minus 2,936. Okay, I'm going to subtract from left to right. 4,000 minus 2,000 is 2,000. Not going to write it yet. Look to the next place over, and yes, I need to make a trade. So the 2,000 becomes a 1,000. The 1,000 becomes 1,000. So now we have 1,800 minus 900, which is 900. I'm not going to write it yet. I look to the next place. I don't need to make a trade, so I can write 900. 510 minus 310 is 210. I'm not going to write it yet. I look to the next place. I need to make a trade. So the 210 is going to become a 110, and I trade 10 to the ones place. So now it's 13 minus 6, and that's 7. Okay? Now, I might think, well, did I do this subtraction correctly? Well, I can add up. So if I take the 7 and I add it to the 6, I get 13. And there's that 13 right there, isn't there? Or when I take the 7 and I add it to the 6, I get 110.3. And there's a 3 in the ones place. Perfect. When I take the 1 and add it to the 3, I get 4. Oh no, there's a 5 up there, but don't forget, I got 110.3 when I added the 7 and the 6. 110.3. So this one right here needs to be included in the tens. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5, right? So there's the 5. Perfect. All right, so then 9 and 9 is 18. I'm now adding the hundreds place. 9 and 9 is 18. I've got an 18 here. 1,800 or 1,800. Right, so that 1,000 right there wants to be included in the next adding up I do. Here's 1,000 and 2,000. That's 3,000. One more 1,000. That's 4,000. Okay, and so that's adding up. And I can check my work, and it's checked out. Right? Now another option would be, let me rewrite this. We can right? I'm writing the same, well, I'm trying to write the same problem again, right? We know the answer is 1,917. Okay, so now one thing we could do is, we talked about adding up, and when I add this one and this one, I should get this one right here. Another thing we could do is if we just put a line here, and then we take these bottom two numbers and add them, what we write here should equal that up here, right? Adding from left to right, 2,000 and 1,000 is 3,000. I won't write it yet. 900 and 900 is 1,800 or 1,800. So this becomes 4,800. 3 and 1 is 4, right? So I can write my 8. There's not a trade coming. 3 and 1 is 4. I won't write it yet. 6 and 7 is 13, or 110, 3. So 110 to the 410 would be 510, and then 3, and it checks. Okay, so that'd be another way that it could be written out. To check to make sure our subtraction was done correctly. Now, working with that same problem, 4,853 minus 2,936, and we know that that equals 1,917. We could also do our check numbers, right? So 4 and 8 is 12, and 5 is 17, and 3 is 20, 2 and 0 is 2. So the check number here is 2. 2 and 9 is 11. 11 and 3 is 14. 14 and 6 is 20. 2 and 0 is 2. Right? And then down here, 1 and 9 is 10. And 1 is 11. Wait. 1 and 9 is 10, right? Oh, 10 is a 1, right? 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 7 is 9, which is 0. And so the check numbers work. 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay? So on worksheet 9, which is your assignment, I think you're going to need to correct the problem based on the check numbers. Okay? So you need to fix the problem. Maybe some of them you won't need to fix, I don't know. But anyway, you may have to fix the problem and show the correct check number, or decide that the problem is given correctly and there's no correction that needs to be made. All right, so that's worksheet number 9 is your assignment.